George Rogers Clark had many run-ins with the Spanish in the Old Northwest, both fighting with and against us throughout his lifetime. Clark's earliest involvement with the Spanish was during the Revolutionary War before the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Spain and France privately agreed to help the American colonists in the rebellion against the British. We credited the Americans 8 million reals throughout the course of the war for various supplies. Clark benefited these supplies during his time as general while on the Mississippi. Spain sent 2,000 barrels of gunpowder, additional arms, ammo, and provisions to Clark's post along the Mississippi. Clark used these supplies during his victories over the British in the Northwest, most notably at his victory at Kaskaskia. After the war, Clark led troops against Native Americans along the Wabash River in what would become the first skirmishes of the Northwest Indian War. 300 men from Clark's company mutinied, and the campaign resulted in a ceasefire with the Native Americans. James Wilkinson, a man in Clark's company, commented on how Clark was often drunk on duty, which forever tarnished Clark's reputation. 10 years later, it was discovered that Wilkinson was a paid spy from Spain. Clark demanded an investigation in an attempt to regain his honor, but the governor of Virginia refused, and Clark never again led men into battle under the American flag. After Clark's misfortunes along the Wabash, he moved to Indiana in hopes of financial prosperity. Edmund Charles Genet, French ambassador to America, asked Clark to lead the troops into battle against the Spanish in hopes of opening up the Mississippi for trade and moving the Spanish out of the Mississippi Valley. However, these actions would break the neutrality that the U.S. had with the French and Spanish. President Washington issued an official proclamation forbidding the violation of neutrality and threatened to send soldiers to stop Clark's expedition. But perhaps one of Clark's more interesting Spanish interactions was with Teresa de Leyva. During the Revolutionary War, Clark had become very good friends with Fernando de Leyva, the highest-ranking Spanish official in the West. It is speculated that Clark had fallen in love with Fernando's teenage sister, Teresa. Clark's family did insist that he was in love with a woman during the Revolutionary War, and Clark even told a niece, "If I had been properly treated, you would have had an elegant aunt whom I would have loved very much." Clark and Teresa never married, and in fact left very little evidence of their interaction. Run-ins with the Spanish such as these greatly colored his personal life and political career, although not always positively.